And hello everyone, this is Relic Jones here. I was asked to do a video on my complete Xeko collection, and I am very glad to do that. It's something I've been intending to do for quite some time. It's just been getting things together, and I wish I had them in to give them justice. I happen to don't have them in any binders, if you will, and I've made excuse after excuse, but literally you just saw a mass of hotspot cards from the first 3 sets. I probably have a duplicate of probably at least each kind of reprint of that. And I just wanted to show that off as a thing. So I have been collecting as an adult after the games have went on, and you'll see exactly how hard it is to get the first set. Any cards of it, but to show off some stuff. I actually do have a booster box, and I am ashamed of the condition it is in, of China. Just the empty box to show off how it looks. I kind of want to try to curate the game in a way, because I know there isn't that many people that put it. I need to help probably the wiki at one point. Catch up with some stuff that they do, because I'm telling you, the Wikipedia article only sends you to articles about the animals. You'll know nothing about the boost cards and the Xeko cards, and you won't even see pictures of the cards themselves. Like, I went on to even keep most of the code cards, which I didn't even know were a thing, because I didn't buy boosters as a kid. Code cards so you can get packs and play the game online. Now, this seems absurd to me back in like 2008 that they were doing this, because I think maybe even Magic the Gathering was the only one that had digital versions of it. There's that particular thing for China. I know China and Indonesia definitely had these, but a virtual game online at that time seems ridiculous to me. I have the playmat from Indonesia. I'm not going to pull it out, but it's pretty neat. This is a busted up box. I think this was the original box that I had, but you see that I've been noticing that it has this tendency to chip right about there. I do believe I have the lids, but for the sake of that, I won't. I even kept, because of how rare, some of these like informational cards for Xeko that they kept back in the day. Like this would have been you to keep your password when they had the website. And even like when you go online, I can't seem to find any cards, but I used to be able to find the plushes, because they used to sell plushes on the website. I don't have any of those, but that would have been cool to collect. I even kept these giant jumbo cards that help you actually learn the game, which are pretty cool. That's the Indonesia set for it. But I always loved like when Pokemon does their, and I am going fast, Pokemon does their jumbo cards. These are kind of halfway between them and a normal card in size. And to say that I have collected is an understatement. I've actually bought 2 big hauls off of eBay back in the day. And yet again, it's really hard to find them. Here's another Indonesia box. And I actually bought these off of Amazon about 2 years ago. And they were going for only about $7 a piece. Yet again, just in this wooden box, shipping crate box. That was a steal, and I bought one for that a particular occasion. But now it's trying to go for around $111, which I think is ridiculous even for a resale price on it. I've seen as high as $200. I mean, it's a cool... I mean, what card game do you get a starter deck in a wooden box? It's insane. I also have, yet again, haul from everything from the last 3 sets. Yet again, as I'm going to tell you, just Madagascar is a hard one to collect. because I've never seen any booster packs for sale of these things. I'm going to go ahead and show you my set for... So now I think I'm going to show you what I got in the sets and my collections to complete them, instead of showing you all of these particular cards. As I said, it's really rare to get a hold of Madagascar stuff. So basically all I got is the stuff that was in the starter set, the actual starter deck. Ooh, nope. So we got stuff like a caterpillar. Let's see if I can zoom in. This particular yellow caterpillar, the mealbug, the boa, you got the spider, hedgehog, the eye, the chameleon. We had another gecko, and they had the compass and the 3 totems. Hopefully you can pause it and see some things, a part of it. Now later in the sets they decided to actually get a certain kind of rarity. Yet again, this doesn't have any hollows, but when you would get a starter deck you would actually get what was called a sketch card, and I do happen to have the sketch lemur and the sketch fossa. Yet again, the fossa was supposed to be the rare search card. It was supposed to be the Charizard. Especially in the marketing you can see the fossa was something really big that they were trying to go into, and I actually do have... You saw my little flip up. I do have 2 sets of those. Not sets, but 2 of them. But that's all I actually have of Madagascar. The other 2 sets, because of buying those online assortments that I actually found on eBay, are way better and way more complete. Well, close to complete. I'm actually missing 4 cards amongst the 3 latter sets to have completed both China, Indonesia, and Costa Rica, which is going to help us be able to catalog bits of this game easier, only missing those sets. Hopefully we can find other people that have the other ones and be able to put it up on Wiki. I don't know when. I'm a very busy person, but I hope. This is one of my long-term goals, to get stuff up. Got the leaf cutter ant, butterfly. Yeah, again, I'm simplifying them because I do have a reading disability here. The strawberry tadpole, which is pretty cool. Cricket, manatee, the American manatee, which is pretty cool. A lot of cool birds in this. Costa Rica is my favorite set by far. The Africanized honeybee, the macaw. What they did when it came to plants in this set, to use them as resources, are just absolutely amazing for the game. Competitively, I would assume. And then the rabbit there, the coney, tapir, 3-toed sloth. Again, that's a pretty bad picture for frogs, but amphibians get a lot of good support in China. Trying to give you time to be able to stop and look at some of the cards. I'm trying to get some glare off. Toucan Sam. Frog. Golden orb spider. Another frog. Another frog. Yet again, I love frogs. If you don't know anything about the Relly Jones channel over these like 10 years, frogs has been a pretty big topic. Tarantula. Fig wasp. I love how figs and fig wasps work. Very good. It's like totally just a honey badger. Green sea turtle. We got a fishing bat. That nice looking crane of sorts. Basculus lizard, we're the Jesus lizard. Cayman. American crocodile. And then you got one of those electric eels. Sea turtle. An Oliver sea turtle. Spider monkey, which a lot of people like spider monkeys. Again, Costa Rica was the biggest set. There is a hammerhead shark, is the biggest set at 50 cards. I was shocked that I got so close to collecting. And I remember as a kid pulling this particular card, and it was one of the only few times I actually bought packs. And just like being a 4-star rare. Because the rarities are based on the little star markers here in the corner. You got all these dragonflies in the game too, which are neat. Great whale shark. If you know anything about my books, one of them is actually on the cover of my books because I'm talking about whales and particular story. Ocelot. And a Quetzal, as in like the Quetzalcoatl. I just love how this game tries to introduce people to ecology and how natural animals are like real life. Like, think about Pokemon. I mean, this should have took off like, at least like the card game is now. Bottlenose dolphin, macaw, a kinkajou, which is supposed to be based off of Pikachu, talking about that Pokemon analogy. Rat. And this is going to be pretty long. Cow tree. This is where the plants were yet again. They always had these interesting abilities that helped you draw cards and manipulate the game. Which plants can be pretty broken in combo with each other. Especially with some of them that you can play multiple copies of to get boosts to their like rarity thing. Now we're into boost cards. This was what I was talking about. The importance was to get the boost cards documented. Because when I was looking up what some of these rares were, I could not find them because the boost cards did not. See, shell armor did not actually say some, and this is where we got the unfortunate first gap in my knowledge of this. We do not have number 105 of the set to really know. It goes immediately to 106. Playing possum, cold-blooded. Lava flow, just like swipe with the sloth. Deadly venom. Howler havoc, like howler monkeys. Monkey moves. Thinking about probably gives you mobility. And now we're into Xeko cards. Again, we got gale winds and fly away. And case all. I cannot read that. Upside down too makes it harder. Turtle soup. Oh no. We got stuff like noxious waters and deforestation. Poacher. Yeah. Then we have these codes, which I could probably do unravel. I don't want to write on them, but it's pretty cool. Notebooks and stuff like Chocolate Temple. That's pretty funny. Jade Amulet. Got Forest Fire, which is kind of a staple. Starlight. gold mine. And again, we got a gap when it comes to whatever 145 is. Got Flash Flood. Then we got the cover cards. My favorite, the sunset with the beach. Now that is Costa Rica. I know it took a while. We're only kind of halfway there with the sets. Now we're here for the third set, being Indonesia, and I happen to know a lot of people at my work that happen to be Indonesian, fleeing that country due to religious persecution. I'll just leave it at that. You can look into it. We're going to go through these animals yet again. In this set, I am missing 2 as well. I believe I have all the animals. And then it's a boost card and a Xeko card that I do not have. Firefly, Stag Beetle, Atlas Moth. Indonesia is pretty cool. You can see that their art has stepped up in quality. Silver Gibbon and stuff. And this was another example. This is another sketch card that was released in the China set of that same thing. I like that rarity idea. It's really cool. They should have made them more often. I think that's something that the game definitely lacked, was the idea of rarity chasing, and their availability was pretty poor. The only places that I could ever see these for sale were actually like zoos, like actual zoos. I never saw them at a Walmart or a Myers or anything. Any of the places I would have bought like Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh cards back in the day, they did not sell. Another thing that may have hurt it was actually their entire message in the first part is the idea of animal conservation. See, and there's another sketch card that we have. The animal conservation could have hurt the game in the sense that on the packs it said that 5% of all sales went to forest conservation, and that could have hurt the profit margin necessary. If you would see, there's a green sea turtle. If you would see even cards today, they're no longer $4, but they have actually went up in price due to production cost. So combine it with a poor distribution alongside already shrinking profit margins, they could have been hurt. And even like the card packs, the paper around the packs, when I open them, you would remember I'm saying that they're waxy. I believe that they were made from recycled material. Even the cards that we have here, I believe, are recycled material too, because they actually damage very easily. If I would ever get these PSA graded, which there's a golden arapaima, PSA graded, I believe that we would have whiting on a lot of the corners. You can see very easily because of the quality of paper is a little on the sketchy side, with it being, I believe, recycled paper. Jobbing rhinos and flying squirrels, and just like think about all these orangutans. These have a lot of killer ideas for ecosystems, and we're going into the plants. Giant Raphasia, which is considered the corpse flower. Just cool to think that you're holding a card of these things, and then you can play them with red mangroves and coffee, which gives you an interesting ability. Durian fruit. And now we're into boost cards, which lets me focus, and let's try to document a few of them. Luck, it helps you re-roll the rolls. Moonlight, which I'm not for sure what animal that's supposed to be. Vibrations, which help insects in the game with the support. Coffee break. Flexible trunk. Cut off. Out of options. Earthquake. And there's yourself a little Noah rainbow. And here's where we get our first skip in it. So if anybody knows what 103 of the set is, that would be very appreciated. Blast fishing, which I think if you may have some sort of a milling combo, it can help, but it can hurt you a lot by discarding so many cards. You draw 3 and then shed 5 cards. That's eating. The decks that I have seen being played as examples and what I remember are extremely small, so that's crazy. Ghost Mask, Reef Destruction, Shadow Puppetry. Then we have a High Tide and a Island Hopping and a Low Tide, which is a pretty cool idea. The same image. Got this Knife, which is interesting if you know like Wiccan and Earth-based things. You might get the symbolism there. And we have Tsunami, and we do have a skip here, whatever 117 is. If anyone in the comments can tell me what 117 is, so we can help build up what it is. Now we're going into the hotspot cards and the reef, which helps. See, it goes forest, air, and water, helping out those ecosystems there, which can help you if what theme deck you're actually trying to run in these things. And lastly, let's go to China, which happens to be the set that I've opened the most of. And I am proud to say we have a complete set of China here. Let me do it right. We happen to have a mite, which this mite actually is a parasite that goes on to bees, which is very interesting. China was an interesting set to go on, and I would like, or maybe even want to talk about videos about what future sets could have been, because yet again this game is no longer with us. There was a Kickstarter a couple years back, and I have a video all about how that Kickstarter went. They raised $500,000 to get the card game. They were so close to getting it physically made, they were trying to actually then go and make it in a digital only like they once were. It was bought up by Nolan Bushnell, which is the guy who co-founded Atari and actually owns Chuck E. Cheese. See, he did that, raised the money to get the game. He got the rights to the game, and what happened is he took all the rights to start a website called Oomba. Oomba now is something that helps you structure tournaments for video games, and that's it. He never did a thing with the card game, and he pretty much stole $250,000 to, what was it? Yeah, to start up a website for himself, never intending to go into his backing. There's the giant panda, and we're going to be eventually greeted by my son in this whole thing. Again, what I said about our amphibian support is great in China. And the art went up so well. You got this very realistic with kind of anthropomorphized eyes to kind of give the souls of the animals. That was my son. I am going a little quicker because I am trying to get this in the take. And also we'll slow down with the Xeko and boost cards. You can pause the video to look at some of them. I know the quality might be a little off. My video keeps saying that it is in HD, but I've never been a quality guy when it comes to like visuals and audio. When it comes to video games and stuff, I cannot tell. An otter, a bat, a raccoon dog, which is a tanuki. There's a red panda. I'm leaning at a weird angle, and it's putting a lot of pressure on my back leaning over the camera. We got our turtles, the arachnid of the Chinese bird-eating spider that gives bonuses to fight against birds. I have used that in a lot of games to help Snow Leopard, which is a cover card. King Cobra. Giant Salamander, which I did find my copy of the Giant Salamander. Rat Flea, which if you know anything about the bubonic plague, and its one ability literally says you can have more copies in your deck than you're legally allowed, which is an interesting ability, literally affecting the rules of the game before the game starts. And now we're into the support of the plants, and it helps you regain your boost cards and regain species cards going into play. You got stuff like Rice, which can be comboed off of stuff to draw a massive amount of cards. It started really building what we call deck engines in the game. And now we're in the boost, charge. And there's a lot of these. I'm glad to say we have a complete set. Warning colors. Really helps you talk about like myths of the region and also how actual adaptation works, kind of in a gamified way. And then we're going into like the mythos of the region with the yin and the yang. The Wuji. Destiny, which was the hardest card in the game, I believe, to actually get in knowledge. And we're going to Xeko cards. The Bloom Stick. It is not my boom stick, it is the Bloom Stick. Dragon's Breath, which starts one of the coolest combos, I think, in the game of milling so many cards from your opponent. Silk Farm, which also has some good connotations. Like the combos in this particular set are unreal. What they could have done with another set, which they did hint when they sold it to Nolan Bushnell, they did hint that there was more information about stuff that did not come out. He was actually buying all the research that they had, which is a shame that he did not continue. Actually, this card is broken too. If people have too close of a theme of their ecosystem, you can lock them out of an entire species. Not species, but like subtype, I believe is the thing. Insect, bug, amphibian, you lock them out of it. And it breaks decks that are too well themed. Devastation. Dragon's Tail. Mystic Vase, which is just crazy. All of your amphibians come out of your shed pile and back to your deck. We got China, China, and China. And you think that's where I'm ending, but I got one big thing to actually show you guys, if I can, and my camera says it's about to die. It's my sealed card packs. I got this for Costa Rica, and 2 of the China booster sets, still in sealed packaging, for my personal collection. Hopefully one day, maybe I'll actually sell one off, since that is the one set that one of them at least, sell them off, because it's the one set that I actually have a complete set of, and I would like to give back to the community. Just yet again, there's a lot of time between videos, books, and all the different studies that I do to take the time to eventually help the stuff that's going on. But maybe one day that I'll give some of these extras out, that I can mail a few to those that actually like the game, especially the hot spots. I think those are some of the most wonderful art cards in the game. But I hope you like this. I'm sorry that it's going to be a while before I actually think about selling some of these, but remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and keep in touch, because maybe in the future I'll tell you when an eBay, maybe when the eBay stuff comes up, because sometimes you see more than one Xeko collection coming up on eBay. I'll help to inform you. But that is my entire Xeko collection. Thank you for liking the channel. I hope there's other stuff, other kind of content, because this card game is kind of dead, and it's really hard to make more content on the topic. But I will try, because I see that there is an interest out there. So hopefully you'll look at the channel, look at some of the Let's Plays that we were doing, and maybe you'll like Lyric's Choice if you're smaller, and just hope, support, and maybe in the future I can give you an update about this particular game. Relic Jones out.